Hello and welcome to the NFSTC Forensic Update. Privacy rights groups have tracked at least 4,000 incidents of consumer data theft since 2005. These cybercrimes have affected millions of people across the world. With more of our daily commercial, personal, and entertainment activities moving online, data breaches and identity fraud are a growing concern. Today we have a great opportunity to discuss cybercrime investigation and prosecution with Jarrett Kolthoff, President and CEO of SpearTip, a cybercrime counterintelligence organization. Mr. Kolthoff also serves on the NFSTC Board of Directors. Thank you very much for joining us today, Mr. Kolthoff. Can you please tell us, how do people gain access to consumers' private data?
People gain access to customer client data, secured data, through either the human, the bad insider, the rogue individual or employee that either nefariously takes the information, or possibly even a mistake of leaving information out on a printer, or possibly even dropping their laptop off in an airport, or leaving it maybe in their hotel room. Now, when you speak to on the technical aspect of intrusions or leakage of personally identifiable information or private information on our clients, it's not so much organizations or bad entities are hacking into a web application. While that threat is always there, the most prevalent means of gaining access to that secure data is through advanced malware or intrusions inside the environment. Once the hacker gets access to the information internally of that secured data, it's primarily done through whether that's a remote access Trojan or other various bad programs or malware inside the environment. But primarily that's how they gain access to that private data, that secured data.
How is the stolen data used?
The use of this private data really depends on who is gaining access to it. If it is a targeted attack, let's say it's a high levels of intellectual property or pre-patent technology, that information is then taken by the individual stealing it and then given to either maybe a purchaser or a buyer of that intellectual property, that pre-patent stolen technology. But when you're speaking of, let's look at financial information, ACH and wire fraud, or credit card fraud, or even theft of personally identifiable information, whether that's healthcare, or even, like I said earlier, credit card data. That information, at times, organizations or individuals are compromised through what's called water holing, or maybe even drive-by malware access, where you'll access a website that has been compromised. It is then sold in the darknet. Darknet, if you like in a Google browser or a Yahoo browser, and you type in parameters that you want to search for, there's varying levels of numbers that are assigned to the traditional internet. That's really where the drug trade, the human trafficking, the weapon trade, a lot of the hackers, a lot of the criminal networks, the criminal world, that's primarily where that trade of information and trade of nefarious things within the internet, within the darknet, to other individuals, then sift through that big data. Other individuals further down in the supply chain take that information and either conduct ACH or wire fraud. They use that information for theft of intellectual property with respect to impersonating another individual. That private information is simply furthering the compromise of that information and or gaining access to username and passwords to conduct an ACH and wire fraud.
Can you tell us who investigates cybercrimes?
In some of our cases, we work heavily with a lot of federal agencies to include some of the local law enforcement. It really depends on the act or the matter at hand. If it's if you're working with financial institutions, a lot of times that is the Secret Service. If you're dealing with theft of intellectual property or counterterrorism, dealing primarily with the FBI. But lower end cases of hacking and computer fraud, we see a lot of that done by the local law enforcement. It really depends on what the crime is, where the crime has taken place, and where the federal agents and a local law enforcement believe where the person that actually committed the crime, where are they located at.
What tools and methods are used to investigate cybercrimes?
The main tools and methods primarily used to investigate this type of cybercrime, let's start with the methods. Primarily, we're using the backgrounds of our firm relative to former special agents, counterintelligence agents, applied that training as former agents to the cyber world in investigating cybercrime. What we commonly refer to here at our firm is called fusion cell analysis. So the fusion cell analysis aspect of being able to take disparate pieces of technology and information, apply that to a matter or a situation to be able to analyze, come up with either actionable intelligence or the information relative to leading us down that hole, be able to actually identify the perpetrator, the individual that's actually conducting the cybercrime. So some of the cyber tools could be anywhere from a malware analysis on the server or a host or a system with respect to zero-day malware to include maybe even a security appliance that actually sits on the network to monitor that command and control traffic back from the advanced malware to the command and control server on the other side of the world. And obviously there are a smattering of other various digital forensics, host-based forensics tools that are used throughout the market relative to forensic investigations.
Now, can you tell us some ways that people can protect themselves?
Some of the personal things you can do is you should get in the process of refreshing these systems every 3-6 months, continually looking at refreshing, reinstalling the operating system, because antivirus today may be 20-30% effective. So simply scanning your assets, your laptop, your server, your home systems with antivirus simply isn't enough. Always be on guard. Never leave if you're traveling overseas, you never want to leave your asset, your cell phone, your laptop, anything inside your room. You always want to keep that with you. And if you're in an organization that has high levels of intellectual property, don't take your laptop, don't take your traditional system you continually use. You're going to refresh and take a throwaway system, if you will, overseas, and then when you come back, either throw it away or re-image that system.
All right, once again, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to sit down with us today, Mr. Kolthoff.
I appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
NFSTC has moved to new headquarter offices. Please update your contact information with our new address, phone number, and fax numbers. Our new address is 8285 Bryan Dairy Road, Suite number 125, Largo, Florida 33777. Our new phone number is 727-395-2511, and our new fax number is 727-395-2514. Breaking news! NFSTC is putting the finishing touches on exciting new online courses. Want to know more? Subscribe to our website or follow us on Facebook to be among the first to know about the new courses and when they'll be available. Well, that's it for this edition of the NFSTC Forensic Update. If you'd like to learn more about the projects and programs NFSTC has to offer, log on to www.nfstc.org. Until next time, I'm Bill Duffin for NFSTC.